Imagine a silence. A silence hanging in an endless darkness, so heavy it almost presses against your ears. And then, as if the heart of the ocean stopped for a moment and started beating again, that world-shaking sound, bloop. The scientists who listened to this sound couldn't speak for a long time. Everyone was repeating the same sentence inside their minds, but was afraid to say it out loud. If this came from a living creature, it's unlike anything we've ever known. Each time the sound played again, the air in the room grew heavier, and people exchanged uneasy glances, unable to explain the tension creeping into them. Now it's time to return to where it all began. Because what happened deep in the ocean in 1997 still hasn't been fully solved, even today. It was the Southern Hemisphere's summer of 1997. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a vast region untouched by humanity. On maps, it appeared as a blank, empty stretch, nothing but the howl of the wind and the rhythmic pulse of the waves, as if the world had simply forgotten this place. But that day, the silence we had forgotten shattered in a single instant. NOAA's underwater hydrophones captured a signal. At first, they thought the devices malfunctioned. The sound was both incredibly powerful and rising unusually fast. But within seconds, the truth stunned everyone. The sound had reached devices 5,000 kilometers away. This wasn't the kind of power a single known source could produce. At least, not anything known to us. When researchers analyzed the recording and noticed its structure resembled that of a living organism, they gave it a simple yet striking name, the Bloop. But while the name was light, the question behind it was unbearably heavy. This vibration was many times stronger than anything an average whale could produce. Even the blue whale, the largest animal ever known, sounded like a small singer next to this colossal noise. Naturally, this mystery ignited countless theories. Internet forums exploded with discussions. Some spoke of a giant creature hiding in the deep. Others turned to myths, kraken, leviathan, and creatures whose names we don't even know. And for many, the idea of an undiscovered mega-organism lurking in the ocean made more sense than any scientific explanation. Years later, scientists attempted to offer a more rational explanation. The sound was likely caused by a massive ice quake, an enormous sheet of ice fracturing. But this explanation never fully satisfied anyone. It was like a puzzle with missing pieces. Because the bloop was recorded far from regions where ice fractures are common, and ice quakes typically produce irregular, chaotic sound patterns, not something with such a living frequency. Some researchers suggested it could be an unknown geological movement on the ocean floor. Yet the same question lingered in the air. If this was purely geological, why did it sound like a creature? This is where the ocean itself becomes part of the story. More than 80% of the oceans remain unexplored. In those dark zones where no light reaches and pressure crushes everything, the creatures living there look like nothing we've ever seen. Transparent fish, self-illuminating organisms, species with bizarre shapes and unimaginable sizes. New creatures are discovered every year, and even that makes it hard to dismiss the idea that the bloop wasn't something ordinary. Years passed, technology advanced, hydrophones became more sensitive, but a sound like the bloop was never recorded again. Maybe a massive block of ice really did break. Maybe something unknown in the darkness moved for just a moment. Or maybe the ocean whispered a secret only once and then fell silent forever. Even today, the bloop has no definitive answer. Science offers possibilities, but none with complete certainty. And that small, stubborn 1% of mystery keeps humanity curious. Perhaps one day, when we descend into the darkest depths of the ocean, we'll discover the true source of that sound. But for now, the bloop continues to exist as a haunting, unanswered question that echoed through the deep and then disappeared.